Let's talk about order of operations today. Now, order of operations, many of us might know it, but let's go through the steps anyways. And it follows this kind of made-up word that you'll hear every once in a while called PEMDAS. Now, PEMDAS stands for the first P being parentheses. And now, one of the things you need to understand is parentheses doesn't just mean this; it also means brackets. And even there are times where it means absolute value. So any sort of like containing operation. Next one is exponents. M stands for multiply. D stands for divide. A stands for add. And S stands for subtract. Now another rule that you need to make sure you understand is that even though it's listed parentheses, exponents, multiply, and divide, it doesn't mean you always follow that order. Multiply and divide are interchangeable. You always do whichever comes first. So if there's a problem where divide comes before multiply, you're actually going to divide before you do that. And add and subtract follow that same rule. Whichever comes first. Okay, so again, if I come across a problem where there's a subtraction before an addition, I need to do that. Okay, and what I mean by coming before it, I mean if you look at it from left to right. So let's do a couple problems here. So this first one I have here, looks like we got some parentheses. We're going to do what's inside there, and what's inside there is an exponent. So I'm going to do that first. So it'll be 25 plus 3. Now, one of the best suggestions I can give you is to do things step by step. Don't do too many things in your head. Now, I have more parentheses, so I'm going to divide that, or pardon me, add that. And once I add it, I can drop the parentheses because there's nothing left to do in the parentheses. And 28 divided by 2 is 14. And I'm done. All right, let's try another one. What about this over here? Looks like I have some brackets, and inside the brackets, I even have some parentheses. So I'm going to do that. So it looks like 3 plus 7 is 10. And inside the brackets, I'm still going to do that part. So it'll be 2 times 10 is 20. And then I can subtract. So you notice that you don't always just work left to right. Sometimes you got to work right to left. You have to go through and follow these order of operations that we've given you. Okay, let's look at the third one. Here's a pretty commonly missed problem. Okay, it says 8 divided by 4 times 2 minus 6. Okay, so you might think, oh, well, I got to multiply because multiply is what it says in order of operations first. Well, and that's not the case. Remember, it's multiply or divide, whichever comes first. So I'm actually going to do this part first. So 8 divided by 4 is 2 times 2 minus 6. Then I'll do the multiply and then subtract. Now, what would have happened, though, if I did it the other way? Would it be the same? If I did 8 divided by 4 times 2 minus 6, and if I did the multiplication, I would get this, 8 divided by 8. Or pardon me, yeah, 4 times 2 is 8. Now 8 divided by 8 is 1. And so you see you come up with a different result. And without going into too much detail, we want to make sure we follow this order of operations so we do come up with, or everybody comes up with the same result. Okay, let's try one more. I'm going to give you a tougher one here. Okay, this would be a great one for you to try on your own and then see if you can come up with the same answer I do. Just hit pause and you can see. Alright, so let's see. What would you do first? Well, what I would do first is inside these brackets and then the parentheses. So I would do the 2 squared, which is 4. And then I would work on that still, 18 divided by, and again, notice how I just rewrite things. It takes a little bit of time, but it really ensures that I'm not going to make a mistake. 18 divided by, so I get 28 divided by 14. 18 divided by 28 divided by 14 is 2, and then 18 divided by 2 is 9. And there you go. There's order of operations.